Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Pink's Garage live stream. Been a couple weeks. Last 2 weeks, shit was going on. Couldn't make it. This week, I'm back. Probably not going to run a long one tonight because I'm tired and I'm dealing with a dog that just will not leave me alone. So, welcome back. I don't know who's there. It shows I got two people. Mike's Garage. Hey, how's it going? Saw Bama and Carmob clocked in and said hi about half an hour ago. I waited until now to start it because I was watching a video that wasn't quite over yet, but I stopped it and said, "What's up, Maniac? How's it going?" Okay, Blue, you need to leave me alone. My dog will not leave me alone. She's been really weird today. And now I got to worry about her getting my laptop or my tablet. There. Back up. Yeah. So not much going on. Not much has changed since the last time I was on live, other than I got a different truck now. Y'all probably saw my short. Get your mess back up and running. Yeah, mine's sitting in the trailer. It runs, just doesn't move very well. So engine's running fairly well. Last I turned it on, but it doesn't even have a battery in it right now. But now I can move my trailer, so I've got the trap. So I knew it had a problem with you're going twin turbo now. Oh damn! Were you single turbo before? Can't. What's up, Bama? How's it going? So with my truck, it's got a miss when it's at idle. And 2 days ago when I was driving it, it was fine. And then when I took off, it decided to start missing a little bit while I was driving, but then it cleared up. So, and it says it's missing on cylinder 4. So I replaced cylinder 4 spark plug and coil tonight. What's up, Zach? And hopefully Paxton with night. Oh, okay. So hopefully, I was hoping that fixed it, but I have not had time since I replaced it because it was already getting dark to get my computer back out there and hook back up to see if it's still missing. I couldn't tell by the feel. You know, it didn't seem like it was running rough at all when it was low idle. So we'll see. There's also the plug may be part of the problem. It may be the plug onto that. So when I pulled the spark plug out, it looked fine. Didn't look too bad. I guess there's only two other things it could be, and that would be a bad injector or head gasket. And if it's a head gasket issue, I'm kind of screwed. Then I'm going to have to replace the damn engine. I mean, because if it's a head gasket issue, that means there's probably more damage. So let's hope it's not that. But for now, I'll get out there tomorrow after work and check it again with my computer and run it while I'm watching it and see how it does. So, like earlier, before I changed it, there were a lot of misfires, like a lot. I think in a few minutes of running, like I ran it for about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit less, and I got over 800 misfires, which I guess that's not really I don't know how many that is comparatively. I don't even know if it's normal. The check engine light did not come back on after I reset it, so we will see. Maybe I'll drive it to work tomorrow. Maybe I won't. The other car is way more comfortable. This is a base XLT, so it doesn't have a lot of the fancy stuff in it. I hate how the radio hooks up to my phone because I have to go into the menu every time to make it work. Doesn't have a screen on it that can show anything. It's a little 4.5 inch or 4.2 inch screen. So yeah, it's a base model. Got a couple of upgrades to it. Like it does have the sync, which it could have come without that, and without the little screen. It's got all the gauges on top, which on the dash, which is not stock. That's an upgrade. It's The seats are electric, and it does have the console in the middle, or not the console, but it's got the seat in the middle that turns into a console. I'd rather have like the Platinum build with the full console in there and the floor shifter instead of the on the column shifter, but it is what it is. What I could afford. I'm just hoping that this engine doesn't have more problems than I thought it did, because when I test drove it, it seemed fine. I didn't have it giving me a problem, and I drove it for a good ways when I test drove it. So. But if I can get that's not too much of a problem. If I can get that misfire fixed, and I'll be happy. Might have to change out some plugs on the connector for the injector, or not the injector, for the spark plug. That could be bad. Those are a pain in the ass just because you got to get to it. It's the one all the way in the back. It's number 4. It was a pain for me to change out the plug today. I am still not able to move the way I did before. And this will not leave me alone. See that? She's just right here in my face. Hi, Blue. How you doing? Did you want to go back outside? I think she wants to go back outside, and I should just let her. I hope it does work out. I'm gonna let my dog out real quick. It should be a link up top if anybody wants to join. Just go. 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 Come on. I'm busy. Go. You gotta let her get outside. That's the problem. Fiona doesn't like to let her get outside. She stops her at the stairs. Oh, anyway, I'm back. So, I mean, it's still nice out. It rained a little bit today. Got a little bit of mud in the yard. It was so nice yesterday. I think I was out there at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night with my dogs, just sitting outside playing with them, and it was like 70 degrees. It was perfect. Tonight or this morning when I woke up, it was 70 outside. By 10 o'clock in the morning, it was like 40. So, and I think it's 44 now. So it temp dropped big time today, and the rains came, and it's supposed to rain again tonight, I think, and tomorrow, and the rest of the week, and for the next 2 weeks, who knows? It's going to become a mud bath again out in my backyard, which makes getting the dogs in fun. But I just want to be able to get my cars worked on and get them done. What's up, Salty? I just need this truck to run right, and I don't want to have to pull the engine out. But I know that a Coyote's kind of expensive. They're not cheap. If I was going to replace it, I'd replace it with a Gen 2. But I'm not sure. I don't think a Gen 2 has anything different in it from a Gen 1 that would make you need. I think the ECU would be fine. It might need to be flashed, but if anybody knows, they can let me know. Yeah, it's going to be rain for days. I don't know yet. I replaced the plug and the coil pack, and I need to replace the other 7 plugs now. I've got them all. I bought all 8. I only changed the one out just for now because it's a pain in the ass to do. I need a step ladder out there. I had to climb up on the front bumper to get to it because it was number 4. But I got that replaced and I ran it and it seemed fine. The check engine light didn't come back on, but I need to, like I said, get out there with my computer and run it and see. And maybe if I'm smart, I'll try and film what I'm doing and make a video out of it. I didn't video any of what I was doing today because I was in a hurry and it's outside and it was getting dark, and I should have backed it up more because I have the lights on the side of the trailer that help. But Oh, I am tired. I debated on whether I was going to do a live again this week. It'd been 2 weeks off, and it's kind of nice just sitting around watching TV at night. Oh, hold on. Howdy.
Howdy, man. That's better. Hell with all that
Yeah,
typing.
I have to admit, I was kind of missing live streams for a little bit, but after going almost 2 weeks without doing hardly any, I didn't mind.
There you go.
I was getting caught up on TV shows. But all the TV shows I need to watch now, most of them I watch with my wife, and she hadn't been here for the last week or so. So
Is she still in the hospital now?
yeah, she's supposed to be home tomorrow. I don't know if that. I don't know. The way she sounded earlier, I don't know if she's ready to come home yet or not. I mean, she was supposed to call me back when she was feeling better, but she hadn't called me back yet.
Mm.
And that's been a couple hours. And I don't know why I'm so damn tired.
I don't know. Bama, why in the hell ain't you up here on the panel? You
Could be
sorry
the
old
whole getting up at 5 something in the
cricker.
morning does it to me.
What's up, Bad
Hey, what's
Chad?
up,
What's going
Motorhead?
on, buddy?
How's it going?
See Maniac's in here too. What's up, Maniac? So you going twin turbo now, huh?
Yeah, that'll be cool. Oh, I kind of wish I'd gotten a deal on when I bought my Whipple. I kind of wished it'd been turbos, but it wasn't. What's up, Nate? How's it going?
What's going on, Nate?
Hold on a minute. What am I holding on to? I tried to hold a minute, but it just slipped away.
There you go.
Gone into time.
Barbecue Mike, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Mike? Mike Scratch was in here too, wasn't he? He was. He was. He was one of the first ones to say something. I mean, Bama and Carmob said, "Hey," but that was like a half an hour before the live stream started.
Oh, I'm just now scrolling up. I see where Carmob said hello. What's up, Carmob? If he's still in the woods listening, what's up there?
He's still in here. Hey,
Mike's Garage. What's up? I didn't see it on my chat when I popped in. I had to scroll up to see anything.
Yep.
Man, what y'all think about this crazy weather? Damn, it was beautiful the last few days, and all of a sudden, old man winter said, "I ain't going nowhere yet."
So nice yesterday. It's not really winter weather though. It's not getting into freezing anymore. It's only going into the 40s.
Shit's supposed to be down in the 30s here tonight.
Okay, for me it's 40s, and 40s isn't super cold. But the wind does not help.
I was going to say with the wind blowing, that 40 feels like in the 30s.
It's not, well, actually the wind calmed down here.
It ain't calmed down here. It still feels like a damn tornado out there. My God, it's been blowing hard all day.
So you're getting what we got earlier then.
Man, it's been doing it to it today, buddy.
Tornado in Ohio. Let's see, hourly. What is my wind speed right now? About 6 miles an hour. So it's nothing. We don't have any wind right now. Not like earlier. Earlier today, it was blowing. It was moving.
It's been flat ass getting with it today, buddy. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I had to take my mom to her pain management doctor today, and dude, it was blowing.
I-90 West in Montana.
It's blowing her Crown Vic all over the damn road.
So I-90 West shut down due to snow. I'm guessing snow and ice.
I'm gonna take my hoodie off just for a second.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out if which hoodie I want to put on. I want to put on the warmest, that's for fucking sure.
I'm
gonna stand outside
and I'm inside.
Oh yeah, this one I got.
It was so nice. Like I said, it was nice yesterday because I was outside sitting out there in shorts and a t-shirt in 70-mile snow, ice, and wind. Okay, it was 70-degree weather in shorts and a t-shirt last night at like 7 to 9 o'clock. Outside with the dogs, it was great. Dogs were happy. I was happy. I was just sitting out there playing with them, listening to a book, and I finished that book off earlier today. Now I got to go to book 3. Yeah. So I'm going through these books too fast. I'm running out, and the new ones aren't coming out soon enough. Like if I'm not mistaken, book 4, I don't think is out yet in the series I'm reading.
What series you reading?
Convergence.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's from Craig Allenson, and the voice by, or read by R.C. Bray. He does a really good job. Yeah. So book
Damn, it's
3.
hard to keep my damn Bluetooth in my ear. Damn it.
Let's see. So book 3 is out already, and I have it. Book 4 doesn't come out until well, I don't know if it says when it comes. May. Won't be out till May. I'll finish off book 3 way before then.
You doing digital books, or are you actually doing hardback books where you got to read?
I'm doing audiobooks.
Audiobooks, okay.
I don't have time to read while I'm working. I listen to them while I'm working.
That's something
doing stuff.
That's something I have never done, is listen to an audiobook. Maybe I should sometimes.
Oh, I love it. It's easy, especially if you get certain books. I've listened to some I didn't like as much, and it wasn't the book so much as it was the person reading it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's a couple of good. If I see an author I like, and then I see that the person reading it's like one of the people I like, I'll definitely listen to it. But Craig Allenson writes a couple. He wrote that, and he wrote the Expeditionary Force books, and I'm waiting for the next Expeditionary Force book to come out. I'm not sure when it's due out. And then there's another series that the fourth or fifth book. We've been waiting on that for like over a year, well over a year, and it's done. It's completed, but Audible isn't releasing it until like September or December. I think December now. They've changed it to December, even though it's done and ready and everybody's waiting for it. And
I wonder if they're doing that because
Audible before it can come out on hardback. I don't understand why they keep delaying it.
I wonder if they're waiting on the delay because other like books and titles or something are being released and they're trying not to be on top of it.
The people who want the book want it now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And it's done. It's ready to go. People are ready to spend their money on it.
Oh, did y'all watch Ken's video yesterday?
No, not yet. I know it's one that came after the staying mode one where he sold the car to him. Well, to that group. I don't know who actually bought the car.
Yeah, that's what the video is all about, the car being sold.
Yeah. I've already seen the video about the car being sold on somebody else's channel. The original.
Oh yeah.
And I think so HPR made one and then Alex made one.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm not sub to Alex anymore, so I don't see none of his stuff. What's up there, Proline? What's going on, buddy?
What's up, Proline?
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
What parts for your seat? Is it the new rails or something to make it move again? Oh. See how long I can keep this up tonight. So, power motor and rails. Yeah, okay. That's what I couldn't remember exactly what you were getting for it, but yeah, fun times replacing those. Because if you can't make the seat move, it's really hard to get it out. Because it's hard to get to some of the bolts if you can't move it back and forth the whole way. So I got to remove some seats and some cars one of these days once I get working on cars again. like my Focus out there, there is so much work to be done to that. Not just the engine and transmission. That's just the beginning. I have to replace, like I said, all the suspension, interior. I've got to replace the gear shift, and a bunch of stuff around it. So I got to pull that whole part, that whole center console apart, which is a pain. I got to replace the brakes. I got to replace. I'm supposed to get my car back on the 6th from the body shop. Oh, nice. Yeah, the car you just bought. Yeah, I know how that feels though. But when my car got damaged, it got damaged by a deer, and I didn't have it for 9 months. So, the 6 isn't too bad. But yeah, I got brakes to do. I got the suspension, interior. Like I said, yeah, I've got to replace the gear shift, and then a bunch of stuff I got to do under the hood. Basically, first I'm going to clean it all out to make it look nice. And
Sounds like you got your hands full. Got a lot of
oh,
work.
that Focus has so much work to be done to it. So much work.
Well, hopefully when you get the rest of those plugs changed, and you probably might have to wind up changing all the damn coil packs too. Maybe just plugs and coil packs.
It's only misfiring on cylinder 4. All the codes are for cylinder 4, just misfire. But
damn.
I cleared it and it hadn't come back, but I don't know how long it takes for it to come back. I don't know if there's a threshold it has to hit of misfires before it comes back, the code comes back.
Does it seem like it's running better at idle since you changed that one plug?
Yeah. I couldn't really tell that much at idle before. It didn't seem that bad. I think at most it had a little bit of a hesitation when you hit the gas.
Mm-hmm.
But once you hit the gas, it was fine. The misfires went away. So I was watching it. I was watching the misfire count. As soon as I hit the gas at all, just a little bit, a lot of it, didn't matter. The misfire stopped.
Well,
maybe it makes me wonder if it is just the connection or it was the coil.
Yeah. So you changed the plug and the coil pack on that one cylinder 4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully that fixed it then.
Hopefully. But it didn't feel like when I put the plug back on that it clicked back in. I think that plug needs to be replaced. And that's a pain in the ass to do. You can buy them. You can buy the plugs all day long. They come with wires, and you cut the old one off and you just splice it in. You don't replace the wire.
Yeah.
And I may end up having to do that. Because it just didn't feel like it wanted to click on it on the new one. And all the plugs look pretty bad. It's just that plastic. It's old, it's 10 years old, 11 years old. I know the build date on it's late. It was a late 13 build it was one of the last 13s to come out.
Yeah, maybe just to try it out before you go changing plugs or changing that one plug or whatever. Get you one of those little small ass little zip ties. Just kind of stick around it, hold it together.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure the connection stays, and just see if that winds up fixing it. If it does, then that way you know you got to replace the plug. So
do a zip tie around the plug to the coil pack itself and hold it. Yeah, I've got
exactly.
Zip ties. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that's just,
I didn't even think about that earlier, and because I was tired and I didn't want to be under there, and it was cold out there. I don't like working in the cold, and I was having to use my headlight because it was getting dark quick. Because of the clouds. Yesterday it stayed really late because it wasn't cloudy.
Just sucks that you can't get your damn truck. Well, I guess you could get it in the garage, couldn't you? If you pulled your wife's car out.
If I took my wife's car out.
Yeah.
But right now, right next to my wife's car, that table that flips up from the wall is up, and it's got stuff sitting on it. And I don't feel like moving that stuff because it's heavy.
Yeah.
That's
you probably don't need
flipped it up and had the delivery person set it there.
You probably don't need to be picking up that heavy right now. Give yourself a little bit more while.
It's what I'm going to do is take it apart. It's the 40 pack of water.
Oh, okay. So
I'll go out there with a bag and grab like 10 at a time.
I got you.
And put them in my fridge.
And I'm gonna tell you, those 40 packs of water come from Walmart. They are not the lightest. Damn, 40 packs are heavy.
Walmart, same thing. Yeah, I get Sam's Club. I have Costco and Sam's Club deliver. I don't even bother driving all the way over to Florence anymore.
Oh, really? You just have them bring it to your house? I don't blame you.
It's free. It
Hell.
doesn't cost me anything. It's free delivery. If it wasn't
Shit, I
free,
don't
I
blame you
wouldn't
then.
do it. Huh?
Yeah, I don't blame you then.
I mean, shit. I need to buy some eggs. I should probably buy. Well, the only thing you got at Sam's is the big pack, and I don't need that many.
Yeah, I gotta start putting my grocery list together tomorrow.
Well, I got 9 eggs left, and I got to boil at least 6 of them tonight. And,
There you go.
That means I only have 3 left. But hey, been up since 3:45. You got me by 2 hours. So I understand. Have a good evening, Chad. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, take it easy there, Chad. Yeah, I got up this morning way earlier than I normally do. Hell, I got up at 8 o'clock this morning.
I got
I
out
don't
of
get up
bed
early.
at 5:45 when my first alarm went off. I woke up at about 5:15 when my dogs woke me up, but I told them to go back to bed, but then I couldn't go back to sleep. I tried. But at that time of the morning, if I get woken up, my legs hurt too bad. It just bugs me. And I really need to call the Spine and Neuro Center because they still haven't scheduled me for that injection yet.
Yeah, I've tried that
3:30
telling
this
my
morning.
dog to go back to sleep. That shit don't work. I've tried telling her to do that. She'll just come running up the pillow and start licking me in the damn face.
Well, my dogs didn't mean to wake me up. They didn't make noise or anything. One of them just moved and hit me, and it woke me up. Because usually when they try and wake me up, they're forceful about it.
Yeah.
But,
what's up there, Homer? What's going on, buddy?
What's going on?
No,
Shit, nothing much.
nothing much.
Did you get much rain down there today?
Nah, it sprinkled a while ago, and well, you know the record. Next 4 or 5 days, damn rain.
Yeah, well, we didn't get no sprinkle. Hell, we got a damn downpour for about. I guess it probably lasted a good 45 minutes to an hour. But when it was raining, buddy, it was raining. It was getting after.
All I know is when I came home from work, and I know at work it rained like the devil, but the water runs off there. You don't see it after it's done raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got home and my ditch was full again.
Yeah,
because it goes this deep below the culvert, so it doesn't drain. I get this much water that stays in my ditch for days, and when it really rains, when it keeps raining, it'll fill up way full.
We're gonna try a new cereal sometime, probably tomorrow.
What is it?
It is. Hold on, I'll just show it to you.
Frosted Flakes, chocolatey marshmallow. Is that what that's? Or chocolate milkshake? Is chocolate Frosted Flakes? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's frosted. It's Frosted Flakes chocolate milkshake.
I never heard of it until just
Me
now.
either. Me either. I seen it today, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try that shit just to see what it's like.
As a diabetic, I'm not gonna try that shit. I eat my Cheerios and I'm happy.
Well, there you go, Salter. There's your new YouTube channel right there.
What's that? Chocolate milkshake?
No, trying new cereals.
Oh, no, we ain't going through that. You seen how much a box of damn cereal costs here lately? Hell no, I ain't going through that shit. I'm a cheap ass.
You see Bucky put them chips out today?
You damn right. I laughed my ass off too.
The cucumber chip?
Yeah, boy, that shit was hilarious, dude.
I told him that one time. I've had cucumber chips before. I don't spit them out. I'll eat them. I've had them in both China and Japan. I guess it's an Asian thing that they like cucumber. I like cucumbers. I actually like cucumbers. I like sweet pickles, and they are a thing, whether Funky says so or not. I like pickles, but I prefer dill pickles. But I do like sweet pickles, and I like cucumbers. But cucumber chips suck. They're like the worst chip I've ever had.
I'll tell you what, fuck you, that damn face.
And it's not that they taste bad; it's that they don't taste. The flavor's cucumber, and it doesn't belong on a chip.
I know one damn thing. That damn face that damn Funky made today, dude. I fucking died laughing when he bit into that shit.
Cucumbers.
Yeah, he likes pickles. He likes dill pickles, but he don't like sweet pickles. And he said he didn't like cucumbers.
Well, like he says, he says sweet pickles aren't even a thing, and I'm like, well, yes, they are, and I love.
They are.
Pickles. I prefer dill pickles. I'm more of a dill pickle guy, but I love sweet pickles too. A good bread and butter chip. Oh, I love those on sandwiches sometimes. Or
dude,
when
I make tuna fish, man, I put that sweet relish. That's the sweet relish in my tuna fish.
It depends on how I'm feeling because I have a dill relish and a sweet relish, and depends on how I'm feeling that day. The dill relish in tuna goes really good too. It's a good flavor. But I like to put boiled egg in my tuna fish, and
oh hell yeah,
celery. If I got some chopped up celery, throw that in there, or celery seed just for a little bit of flavor. Little salt and pepper, mostly pepper, barely any salt. And I only use Hellman's or Duke's around here.
Yeah, put salt and pepper on the cucumbers. That's good.
Oh yeah, salt and pepper on the cucumbers. Hey, look, it's Mike's Garage. Welcome to the chat. Hey, there's 4 of us now. We can do this.
So I was about to join when you first got on, and my brother had given me a call right when I was about to hit the join button on StreamYard, and I was already ready to go, and then him and I were talking on the phone for a bit.
Yeah, that's fine. I have no issue with that. Like right now, if my wife were to call me, I'd probably I wouldn't end the live stream. I'd just mute myself.
How's she doing?
I don't know. I can't tell. She couldn't talk with me earlier because she was too nauseous. And when she gets really nauseous like that, she can't really talk. And I'm like, and she's supposed to be coming home tomorrow morning. And I'm like, if you can get that nauseous still, I don't think you're ready to come home because we don't have the intravenous drugs here, and you can't take pills by mouth still. So, yeah, like Proline says, bread and butter pickles are awesome. They are. And,
see, I don't even...
and Barbecue Mike makes one that's between a dill and a sweet that he likes. And I've had some of those, not yours, Mike, but some similar to that are kind of a dill but sweet, and I like those a lot too. Because I love the dill. I like dill. I like the flavor of dill. Like dill chips, I like those because they have that dill flavor in them. That's why I like what is that has dill in it? It's really good. And I can't think tonight. My brain. I have to take my glasses off to think, I guess, personally. It's not working.
My thing of it is, see, I don't like pickles, but I do like sweet relish in my tuna fish. It's funny. I don't understand it, but I don't.
I say, to each their own. That's why we have the free will to eat what we want because
exactly.
we aren't in prison and we aren't served what they serve us.
Hey, Pinks.
Yeah.
So, you familiar with boron? BORON.
Boron.
It's a mineral. So, I take these.
Bone Restore.
And I'll send you a picture.
Never seen that. Life extension.
So with these, it's for bone restore.
Yeah.
But one of the key ingredients in it is boron, which helps the body absorb vitamin D, calcium, and magnesium. But what they found in clinical trials is people that get on boron supplements, the amount of calcium that they piss out is cut in half. So with your back, it helps, and it also helps grow bone. Okay. The other side effect is it raises testosterone level.
I don't need any more testosterone. I'm already an asshole enough. Come on.
No. But what it does is it gives you your strength back.
I've had mine checked just to see how it was. I still have, because I had a vasectomy years ago, and sometimes that will affect your testosterone. It did not. Apparently, according to the doctors, it did not affect it one bit.
Well, I know.
And this was like less than a year ago. I was tested, and it's doing fine.
So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had a vasectomy way back in. Oh my God! Oh
25 years ago.
It's been a long time ago, and I can promise you, It did. It
It's been
did.
at least-
It did. It didn't affect mine. It just didn't help it grow none. But it still does its business.
Salty,
I
you
don't
said
mean,
you had your tubes tied.
Yeah, something like that.
I ain't talking about growth or nothing, but what I'm talking about is
Well, see, if
as
you ain't
Josh
talking
was,
about growth, then you ain't talking about the right pill.
what I'm talking about,
Good dog. I've been going at it all day.
I'd
so what
like to
I'm,
at least be known as the 4.5 inch man instead of the 4 inch man.
it'll be down to 3.5 inches as you age.
I couldn't.
But
I couldn't
the
believe I
thing,
actually climbed up on the front end of the Ford today.
oh, there you go. But
Because that's the one thing I like about that model year of the Ford truck, the
it's
F-150.
easy.
When you raise the hood, it brings the whole grill comes up with it.
It's water. It's water.
But I really want to change that grill because I hate that chrome grill.
But the reason why I say that is if you get that level up, your strength goes up as well. I feel like, because I've been on it for a couple weeks now,
Yeah.
and I'm taking a decent dose of boron. And instead of feeling like I'm in my early 50s, I feel like I'm in my early 40s again.
So where'd you
just
buy that at?
Amazon. I'm on 2 different supplements for boron. That
Hey, I'm gonna put y'all on mute. You guys talk amongst yourselves. My wife's calling. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if I want a bowl of cereal or if I want a pizza. I don't know which one I want.
Get them both.
Hell no, I'm not gonna be mixing both of those.
you need that and Reese's. And
No, I don't.
you'll be
I
ready
don't
to
even eat
work.
Reese's. I don't even eat Reese's. I used to, but for some reason I don't touch them anymore.
No.
I haven't. I probably hadn't had a Reese's in 15 years, I guess. But I do like Rolos though. I eat the hell out of Rolos. I just ain't got no Rolos. Girl, what'd you do? Go damn take a dive in your bowl of water? You got that shit all down the front of your damn chest and everything else. How'd you get so damn wet taking drinking water? Think you go swimming in this shit?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she thought it was a jacuzzi.
Yeah. She's a little dog, but that bowl's a hell of a lot smaller than she is. Oh, she gotta go. She gotta go Monday and get her ears loaded. I ate Reese's 15 minutes ago. What's up, Yellowhammer Garage?
What's up, Yellowhammer?
What's going on? Well, they didn't move the damn pole today, Salty.
They did.
No, they didn't move the damn thing.
Well, they probably won't move that so Mr. Late next week sometime, then, because they
I
talking
know
about
that's what
as much
pisses me
damn
off.
rain is fixing to come in.
Yep.
Were they playing with your pole?
No,
Only if they pay me.
he was wanting them to play with a pole, but they wasn't willing.
What's up, Yellowhammer?
So did the pole fall down, or is it up and erect?
No, the power company come out yesterday and they're gonna move the pole south. Because we got the camper sitting in probably one of my build later on, so they're gonna go ahead and move the pole that was in the backyard by the shop with the light on it. They're gonna move it south. I think it was what I tell you, Salty, like 35 feet, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, 30, 35 feet or something like that.
You're gonna
So that
rearrange
way,
your lot then, eh?
yeah. So that way the power line wouldn't be over what we're gonna build. And if it was, they said they'd move it again. They said they moved it this morning. Well, guess what? I got home. It ain't moved.
Well, you also said the wind kind of loosened that pole up too, so.
Oh yeah. Well, they're gonna move it. They're gonna move it anyway. But the wind was, hell, we had gusts in the 40s today, dude, all day long.
You're
Same
getting all the
here,
shit
dude.
we had yesterday, and this morning it was pretty bad too.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yesterday we had really bad winds.
Mike, you'll be getting it tomorrow.
We already got some wind up here, but
Dude, that damn wind we had today, it was blowing my mom's Crown Vic all over the fucking road.
No, it doesn't travel in that direction.
so
Yeah, because see, usually what you get, Pinks, I don't get, but what Bama gets, I get, because he's so much further down the state.
Right, he might get what I get, but he wouldn't get what you get.
So Bama, you got to call the power company tomorrow and say, I thought you were going to have folks over here
Hey,
to
Nate.
move around my pole.
Yeah,
Why haven't
yeah,
you moved
because
my pole?
yeah,
You
but
need to come move my pole.
the thing was the rain percentage had dropped earlier in the week, and now it's stupid. It I mean, we're talking about 70, 60%,
Yep. Same here. That's
60
what we're
something
getting.
percent the next day, and so on and so forth. So I'm screwed again.
Yeah, it shows on
Yeah.
my
Hey,
radar.
Nate.
We're supposed to get it for the next 6 days.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Same here. Hey, Mike,
so
that
I'm not
picture
doing
you
nothing.
sent me. That picture you sent me was awesome. That looked awesome. That
I hope there ain't nothing in that bottle.
Thank you, sir.
this bottle
Uh huh.
with the lid on it.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing in it.
Because the next time you open it, you gonna get a bath.
Oh
The way
no,
you shaking that damn
I
bottle up.
wouldn't. This stuff has like no carbonation in it. It's awesome. I love beer without carbonation in it.
Oh, okay.
Without
For to say.
like I shook these. I've shaken one up before and opened it. It was fine. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
It's an IPA. They don't usually have a lot of
Yeah, that's true.
carbonation.
That's true.
So Pinks, the big thing to me is as I'm doing all this stuff, I want to be able to look at and be proud. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Not doing stuff half-ass.
that wiring looked great, and you're not even hiding it. That wiring's out in the open.
Yeah.
No, see, you got to do it half-assed. That goes along with having a
No.
shop.
No, you
You
don't.
want something to
You
be
do it
proud of.
right.
Messing with you.
I love the way that looked. You should really show that picture. I could show that picture. It looked
Yeah, you
great.
can show the picture.
I have the picture. What the hell am I talking about? Oh, somebody
Yeah,
messaged
Mike
me.
don't like me no more. He don't
Oh,
fucking
thank
shoot
you.
me no text. He don't fucking call me. Don't shoot me no pictures.
I could do this. I'm in
Hey, you're
charge.
supposed to give me a reach around. What happened to that?
Look at
My arms are too short.
Look at that.
I'm waiting for
That is
Bama
the
to
way.
take my place.
That
He
is the
got longer
way
arms.
light switches should look when they're done like that.
Wiring them.
Oh yeah,
That is, and he's got because he's got a separate run to each one because they're going to 5 separate light circuits.
Yeah, light rolls of lights.
That just looks really good. So you ran power and return on one line, right?
So I had one home run, and
Yeah.
then I connected everything inside the box, and I used Wacos.
Okay. Yeah, I see the
Because-
home run coming in there.
Yeah, because you could only have for a wire a twist tie for 4 cables, and since I've got 7 grounds,
You
there's
just
no way
ground
to
them to
do
the
that.
box. You
Yeah,
use
well,
a Wago to another Wago to another Wago. I've done that many times.
yes, I do have a compound Wago. Yes.
No, I did not see the spotted GTD near VIR. I did not.
What is the GTD?
GTD is that Mustang GTD, and VIR
Is that damn Mustang with the holes in the damn fenders?
yes, Virginia
Oh,
International
yeah, that's-
Raceway, maybe.
Yeah, that's an ugly ass Mustang. Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. That is a badass Mustang.
Oh yeah, as far as the technology in it and 800 horsepower and all that, yeah.
I
I just
personally think it looks good.
I can't do the front
Sorry.
fenders. The front fenders is 100% throw off.
I love the way they look because they are functional. They are made to be functional. They are not made that way just for looks. They are made functionally, and functionally looks good to me. Yeah, the price tag's ugly as shit.
Yeah, 300 grand. You damn
And
right.
not only is it 300,000, you have to be picked by Ford to get it. You
Yeah.
have to be special.
So explain something to me about that car because I have done no research. Now the engine's in front, but did they remove? They put the transmission in the rear?
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
Kind of like a Corvette.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure. So it's got a transaxle. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Real deal race car with a Mustang body, and it's road legal. I will be right back. I'm gonna grab another drink. Oh,
I won't buy a house on the lake, but I'd much rather spend that damn 300,000 on property instead of a damn car.
I'll buy a house on the lake. I'll buy one next to the lake, though.
So Nate, what's the newest and greatest?
What's that?
What's the newest and greatest?
Still working on my truck.
All
True.
right, how's that going?
I'll wait till Pinks comes back. I block sanded and reprimed the bed. The hood's primed and the fenders are primed. Sand those tomorrow.
Yeah, the only difference is Yellowhammer is just the engine's still in the front with a GT. The engine's in the rear, or it's a mid-engine car. But I still think moving that transmission to the rear with the transaxle and stuff, I bet that gives that car really good weight bias. I bet
That's what
really
NASCAR's
balances.
running now.
I bet it really balances out that weight a lot in that car.
That's what NASCAR is running now. You didn't know that? So,
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that's the way they got all that shit engineered. I've never seen.
Yeah.
I never paid attention to that.
that's why the first year had so many problems because the long ass shifter kept breaking.
Girls, come on.
They basically got a heated rear end like a transaxle. Motor's still up front, but
Yeah,
the actual transmission's in the rear part of the rear end.
yeah, because I know NASCAR's running a sequential transmission now,
Get in here now.
and I'm sure that GTD has probably got a sequential shifter in it to transmission. I'm sure of it.
How was the Atlanta race?
It was fucking the bomb.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, hell, I live right across the street from it.
Well, I know you do. I just didn't know you actually watched it. That was
Hell
really.
yeah.
I knew as soon as they finished, I went. I still don't think that beats the Darlington finish of 03 between Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch. My girlfriend looked at me and says, "How the fuck do you remember that?" I said it was one of the few races I watched by myself.
Well, no, actually, it did. That is the closest finish in NASCAR history.
It was the closest to two other ones. One of them being Ricky Craven's, and it was tied with another. It was the closest three. I seen a bunch of stuff on Facebook the next day about it, and they had them ranked the finishes. That was 3 1000s.
Dude, I really thought it was going to be a two-man show until Kyle Busch come up here and throw this damn car up in the middle and said, motherfucker, there's room for one more car.
Yes.
I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is sweet. That was a sweet finish, though.
Well, I'm sure one of them was what the Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon in Atlanta, wasn't it? Close.
That was Kevin Harvick's very first win. That was right after Dale Earnhardt Sr. died.
I bet that was what top 4 right there.
That has to be top 4 because that was a really close finish because I was at that race and we were sitting right on the goddamn starting line.
I'm out of beer, so.
That was a really sad day, dude. I mean, really, really sad day because believe it or not, I'm a grown-ass man, dude, but I had tears rolling down my face when Harvick won that race. Because I was such a big Dale Earnhardt fan. Such a big, huge fan of his.
And was a massive fan.
It's just, when you see somebody that's been that tough all your racing life, because you're definitely not old as him, but say all your racing life, and you've been watching him, and he's been like this invincible guy,
Nice.
and then he's gone, and it like almost leaves like an empty void. You really don't know how to act because when you go to a NASCAR race, the NASCAR race was synonymous with seeing the black number 3. You know what I mean? That's just the way it was. It's either the yellow and blue number 3 way back in the day when I was watching it. Because some of you guys ain't old enough for that shit, like Nate, but I am. I was there. And then when he went over to the Goodrich cars in the black number 3, when you go to a NASCAR race, the black number 3 was just the car that you see.
And that car,
And then,
I think originally baby blue and silver, and Richard painted half the car like baby blue and the other half black. Show Goodrich that it would show up way better on black, and he sold them on it.
I don't know. You could be correct because I know there for a while when Dale Jr. was driving in the Busch Series, he was driving the blue and silver and white AC Delco car.
Delco. So GM Goodrich's logos was blue.
Yeah.
And they wanted, or I guess their colors then, from what I understood, I've read about it, that they wanted the car to be baby blue and like gray. And Richard's like, it's one of those things. He didn't like it, and I don't think Dale liked it either. So they sold him. They literally put a tape line down through the center of the car, painted it the way they wanted it, and then painted the other half the way Richard thinks it should be. And he sold them. And that's how it became a black number 3.
Do you know who was originally supposed to be driving that car? It wasn't Dale Earnhardt.
No.
Terry Labonte.
Really?
Bonnie?
Yeah, Labonte was set to go to work for Richard. They was already in talks and everything else. And then when the company or the team owner that Earnhardt was driving for lost one of their sponsors, and then Earnhardt became, the guy just didn't have enough races to run Earnhardt for the full season. He offered to let Dale, he goes, you can go ahead, I'll let you out of your contract and you can go take the Childress ride. And then that's when Dale Earnhardt left that team. No, it was before he even went to Wrangler.
Yeah. I'm trying to
He
think.
he was driving a Ford Thunderbird.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he was driving a
That's old.
Thunderbird. I cannot remember that guy's name that he drove for, but he had,
Trying to think.
and that's when Terry Labonte was driving the 44 car.
Think about that.
Well, I grew up being a Petty fan, so that's me.
I can't remember that guy's name, but he is the one that gave Earnhardt. I can't say he gave Earnhardt his big break because hell,
He
the
let
very first
Earnhardt
year,
go off his contract.
the very first year that Earnhardt was in damn NASCAR, he won Rookie of the Year. And the next year, he won the fucking championship. That's like, you just don't ever hear nobody doing that shit.
Hear about Dale Earnhardt, and like, unless you're a NASCAR fan, no one knows who Harry Gann is. He was in the same rookie class, raced all them years, the 94, and just never really had the same success as Dale.
Dale?
Dale, I can't remember, but JD Stacy don't sound familiar.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't to me either.
That sounds familiar to me.
See, I know the name, but I don't remember if that's who Earnhardt was driving for when he was driving that Ford Thunderbird. I just cannot remember what his name was. He was a well-known team owner, but for some reason his name is escaping my mind here for some reason. But now Terry Labonte was actually supposed to be driving for Childress, and then that's when Terry Labonte got all pissed off because Childress decided not to go with him and went with Earnhardt. And boy, Terry Labonte was pissed off, boy, just like mad as shit about that. Because over time, you've seen what happened with Earnhardt. He got in there, they got the Wrangler sponsorship, and they were off to the races.
Nate's camera just went black.
He might, yeah. I don't know. He either turned it off or he's either searching, trying to figure out who it was.
Off, though, because it looks black. Like there's still video there.
He lost
Nate, can you hear us? Nate, you got any? Can you hear us talking shit about you?
Yeah, give me a second. Whenever I get out of StreamYard, I can still hear you guys.
Oh, okay.
I was looking on the internet, so it goes black. I don't know what it does when I get off.
That was weird. It went black. It's black. It doesn't.
Yeah, usually nobody never goes black. They just freeze.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh well.
But yeah, Proline, I agree that the Wrangler car, it was a pretty car back in the day. That blue and yellow, man, it was just a sharp looking car.
I just remember. I remember when I was young and I was watching NASCAR in Rockingham at Richmond, and I remember meeting Richard Petty, and I always liked him.
Richard was a nice guy. I met him a few times. Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
I met him last time I remember meeting him or seeing him and talking to him was waiting tables at the restaurant, and he was.
Yeah, I remember you telling us about that.
And just good guys. Most every one of the racers back then were good guys. They weren't dicks to anybody.
Here's who you were thinking of. You're probably thinking of Osterlin Racing.
Osterlin?
Yeah.
Is that when he was driving the Thunderbird?
He drove for JD Stacy, bought him out 4 races into them owning him. Dale let out.
Okay, so Dale was right then. He said JD Stacy. Okay, like I said, I knew the name. It just didn't sound familiar with Dale Earnhardt. Maybe it was though. So
Probably not used to hearing it because JD Stacy seems familiar, but if Dale only raced for him for 4 races, you probably wouldn't think of JD Stacy and Dale Earnhardt being together.
Yeah, well, yeah, very true, very true. Because there wasn't a whole lot of, you got to remember back in them days, man, there wasn't a whole lot of people jumping from seat to seat like they do now.
Yeah.
No,
You know what I mean? When somebody got into a car, they was just in that car. They was just there. It
Yep.
was like Jeff
That was their
O'Dine.
car and their team for their life.
And they were
Yeah, it was.
talent, not because of money you drug with you or who daddy bought.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
You know, he's just like Jeff O'Dine. He was just not synonymous with the damn Levi Garrett car. He drove for damn Hendricks. A lot of people didn't think Hendricks owned that car, but he did.
Was that
and
a
like,
Hendricks car?
Yeah, that was a Hendricks car.
I didn't know that.
And
I just don't remember anyway. It's
and just
been
like
so
the
long.
Tide car, nobody made that car famous more than damn Darrell Walter. You know.
Yeah, that's a ship that moved around a lot. So he had that for quite a long time, and then he started his own team, and then it went to Rick. Now, was he driving? He wasn't driving for Rick when he had Tide, was he?
Yeah, he was a Hendricks driver. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he left there and went to Junior Johnson driving the Budweiser car.
Yeah, that was years later.
Yep.
Tide stayed with Hendrick up until Ricky Rudd started RPM. And it jumped over. He moved from Hendrick. And then it moved to Craven.
See, because you
didn't get it, Mike?
Application. Oh, that would have been a sweet position there, Mike. But you would have had to pack up and move down to North Carolina. You wouldn't have been able to do it from where you live.
I thought about it one time doing that, but then I decided to. For driving semi, okay.
Yeah, being their car hauler,
joining the
driving their
Hendricks
car
team
hauler.
one time because I knew a couple of people who worked for them. But then I decided to join the Army instead.
Yeah, if you're gonna drive for one of those race teams, you're gonna have to pack up and move to North Carolina because there ain't no way they're gonna let you live in another state and fly back and forth. Because you're gonna be busier than any damn mechanic, any race driver, or whatever. You and that damn hauler is gonna be out on the road all the damn time.
Depends.
If you ain't hauling their car to a race, you're hauling their damn show cars to a damn events and shit like that.
So here's an interesting story. So Flip Boyer's driver, my aunt and uncle do. They got to know him. God, I can't remember his name. Rob.
What's
I can't remember.
Victor?
But he left Stewart Haas because he got sick of being on the road all the time. And he moved back up. I think he lives in Virginia or Ohio or West Virginia. Somewhere not North Carolina. It's Stewart Haas
for Haas?
called back and begged.
Is he still driving for Haas?
He said, I'm all done. I'm going home. He says, I can't do this every week. 2 years later, Tony called him and said, I'll do whatever you want. Just come back and drive. He said, okay, when we go out to the West Coast, you're going to pay to fly me back. And then you're going to fly me back out there when it's time to come move the haulers. And then you're going to fly me back and forth. I'm not staying out there all 3 weeks. Every other week. So you're going to have to find somebody else. I want a pay increase. There was a couple other odds and ends. Tony gave it to them all. He signed a driver that will show up. I guess that's a problem.
I bet you that is a very time-consuming job, though, because you're.
He did that West Coast swig. He said you're out the West Coast all 3 weeks. You don't come.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
Since you basically drive there, you drop it off, and you're just sitting there for 3 weeks waiting.
Well, I know some of the truck drivers too. While they're there, they actually do some of the grilling and cooking and stuff too.
Yep.
Kyle, truck driver, is an absolute drunk. Holy shit!
Who's?
Kyle Larson. His truck driver is the nuttiest guy I've ever met in my life. He came out. We were at North Wilkesboro. We were camping caddy corner to the lady who does all Rick Hendricks wraps for his cars and his trailers. She used to work for him. Media person back in the 80s. So like she was around when Tim Richmond was around and Terry came on and she was there whenever, but she ended up starting her own business called Red Eye Design. And she does all the wraps for him and his cars. And after Kyle won the race, He came up. His truck driver came over. Rick Hendricks, coach driver, who used to be Terry Labonte's truck driver, and his groundskeeper, all came over. We're all drinking beer with him. That truck driver came over completely crushed. He was up till 3 a.m. He had to leave at 5.
Holy shit.
Oh, geez.
I guess they got to do something though, you know.
Yeah, they drink a lot of beer. I know that. He said it. He said we all drink a lot of beer because there's.
Yeah, I used to be like that. I can't do that anymore.
I used to drink a lot of beer. God
Well,
almighty.
I used to drink a lot of beer and be able to like go on 2 hours of sleep and just go all day. Whatever.
Yeah.
How many drink?
What was that, Nate?
I said, and you get home from that, and you drink again.
Oh yeah, you drink even more.
If you say I'm not gonna, you wake up in the morning, I'm not doing this ever again. By 5, you're ready for a beer.
Yeah, exactly. Now I have had days when I got older that I'd do that. I wouldn't drink for like a week.
I do that. 32. Like I want no parts of this.
Now I drink. I drink a couple of beers, maybe some
root beer
at night. That's about it.
Mike,
this isn't beer. This is that margarita, that Cayman Jack margarita, which it doesn't taste bad. It's nice. It's tasty, but
Mike, root beer don't count. What are you talking about? I used to drink a lot of root beer.
I got some root beer that counts.
I got some root beer too, but we talking about beer that fucking makes you drunk.
Well, the root beer I'm talking about makes you drunk too. It's hard root beer.
Because I never had any no root beers that ever made me drunk.
You've never had hard root beer?
No, evidently not. Never tried it.
They make it. They make alcoholic root beer, and it's pretty tasty.
They make It's not your father's root beer. I think.
Not your father's root beer. Yeah, but there's a couple of different brands. There's the one at Aldi's too. Aldi had some the other day. I didn't buy it. I should have, because I wanted to try it, see if it was any good. There's a different brand I'd never heard of.
I'd try that because I like root beer.
Yeah, me too. Beer. Damn right.
But I don't really like drinking soda. But if it's a hard root beer, I can drink it.
The only thing about it's not your father's root beer, if you get that brand, is it's very filling. So don't think you're gonna buy a 6-pack and sit there and try to finish it, because you're gonna feel bloated after 2.
I have drank a 6-pack of not your father's root beer in one sitting. And yes, you feel rather bloated.
You sit there and you're like, I don't want to move. I feel like I ate a whole turkey.
But I hadn't eaten anything, so it was fine.
That helps.
My stomach was empty. So, and not only that, it actually got me buzzed really good.
Hey guys, I'm gonna mute real quick. I'll be able to hear you guys, but I'm gonna go in there and get me some pizza real quick.
All right.
Ooh, pizza.
He's gonna play with his 4-incher.
I had chicken and rice for dinner, which was leftover from last night. It was the big piece of chicken that didn't cook fully, and so I figured I'd save it for leftovers, throw it in the microwave, heat it up, and it finished cooking.
Here, Pinks, I know you haven't seen this yet, because I started talking to you the week I decided I was going to start working on this and move home.
Let's see. Oh yeah, the truck. That looks awesome.
I've already primed it once, block sanded it, and then I just reprimed it today.
Looks nice.
That looks so much better than it did.
Yeah, this is where there's a big patch right here.
Yeah.
Which you can still see from the other side where it was welded in.
Okay.
But I don't care. Like, I'm going to have a top cover on it. It doesn't matter to me, but I am going to paint the inside. And the other side looks about the same.
You're going to put a tonneau on it. Are you going to do a spray and bed liner perhaps?
I don't know. I'm going to waste the money.
If you do, that'll also help hide it a little bit too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was originally going to do. But the fact that I'm going to paint the bed, I kind of made the decision that I don't know if I put a bed liner in it, because paint's not cheap.
No, you can do your own. You can do a spray and bed liner at home.
Oh no! I've had them and they never seem to hold up. They always end up destroyed in a matter of a few years. I'd have to do a Line-X.
I like Rhino and Line-X, but the last one I had was really good. And it's Armor something. And I really liked it. It was one of the best spray-ins I'd had, and I gave it hell and I never scratched it once. And I cannot remember the name of it. Hold on, and I will get you out of. There we go. That looks great. So when are you moving? Do you know? Do you have a job lined up?
My concentration's work on this truck. I can go home.
Okay.
My buddy already told me. He says when you move home, he said you got a job with me if you want it. He says it may not be making what you're making, but to get you here.
What is that job doing?
It's just him. He owns a small excavating company.
Oh, so
We quit last year at the end of the year, and he knows the value I can bring versus just being an employee. So he says, if you want, he says, I'll pay you $900 under the table cash, which is basically what my salary is now without commissions. And he says, you know, we can work together. He says, if you start bringing in business, because I'm able to talk to people. He's not. He's really shy. He's good at the work and word of mouth, but not real good with like getting back on quotes or trying to find new business or anything like that, which is kind of a stronger suit for
you
me.
going to be running any heavy equipment?
He's got an E50 mini excavator,
Okay.
which it's not real mini, but it's
No,
mini.
no. It's mini compared to a full size.
He's got a D6 bulldozer.
Oh, okay. I like those.
He's
I
got a
haven't.
John track machine.
I've never driven a D6. I've always wanted to, but I've never been able to drive one.
The only thing I've ever really drove is I had a John Deere of similar size I've drove, and my as a 973, but it's got a loader on the front. I don't have a blade.
Yeah. I'm used to running the case excavators and what is that one? Fairly decent size excavator.
Yeah.
I wasn't great with it. I could get a job. I could get a hole dug. I could dig a trench with it. I could, but I wasn't fast. Because I was just learning how to use it. It was fun. It was a friend of mine's, but I never got good at it. I've watched some of these guys on some of these videos where they're like pulling like just the top layer of grass off and laying it down gently and doing like perfect circles with it. And I'm like, and I know that some of the videos are sped up, but still, they're still doing it fast.
Yeah.
You can tell, even with the sped up video, if they were to slow it down, it would still be fast comparatively.
Yes.
Yeah,
he said I can move back and work for him. Autumn started applying for jobs, and he'd run into a roadblock of where she's got to get her PA license to be able to practice. Pennsylvania is ridiculous. They want everything under the sun. They want proof of no malpractice from New York State. There was like 10 hours of training. It's like split up over 3 different things that they wanted done that she had to complete. She already did that. But she had to send in a form to New York State, have them send paperwork stating that she has no malpractice. Well, this state is not going to rush on anybody trying to leave this. So that's where her hang up is now. But she had 2 calls. She applied for 5 jobs. She got 2 callbacks.
nice. What was I gonna say? Oh my God, my brain just went gone. I had a thought, and then it left.
It'll come back. Maybe.
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 But I went and bought my paint. I was gonna go pick it up today because they
What
just said
color?
$1,438 for 1 gallon of red and 2 quarts of gray.
Holy shit.
Holy.
But how
So
much?
you're doing red with a gray?
It's metallic, light opal, but it's not silver. It's light metallic gray.
Is it just me, or is he cutting out to everybody?
He's
Yeah, he
cutting out.
was.
He's cutting out.
It's weird because
Are
you'll be
you
talking
buying
fine, and then it just volume goes away. It just
Yeah, it goes back and forth. Are you buying that paint from Biden or who?
Trust me, Biden did not help the price.
I know red paint's expensive. Good
Yeah.
red paint, especially metallic, is spendy. Red is one of the most expensive colors you can buy.
By a long shot.
Okay, so yeah, it wasn't just me. He is cutting out. He'll be talking. It's like where you're your speech, you're coming in perfectly, and then it just goes silent and comes right back.
Hold on.
I don't know what's causing that.
Do you have a noise canceling microphone?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you hear me now?
I just put
If
my
you have a noise
AirPods in.
canceling microphone, if you're just at the very distance of it, too far away, it will cut in and out, thinking you're
That's what
background
it
noise.
was. He was using an on phone speaker, and he was too far from it, most likely.
That's why I just put in my AirPods. It probably fixed the whole
The
problem.
microphone I have on this tablet works really, really well because you all can hear me when I'm talking to you from the kitchen.
Yeah, barbecue Mike. Yes, you can paint your bed liner the same colors you paint your car.
Hey guys, I got to go.
You can get colored.
All right,
See you
dude.
later, Bama.
Bama, you have a good night, buddy.
Have a
Peace,
good one,
guys.
Bama.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, I got Ford's. It's Torador Red, which they used for ever.
Torador. Or,
Yeah.
is that the way it's pronounced? Torador?
Or Toreader, I think is how it's.
Torito? Or
Yeah, Toreader.
I don't know.
T-O reader is how it's spelled. So that's Ford's color they had from like I don't know. I think it
I
was
know
like
the
92
color.
all
I've
the
seen
way
the
through.
name before. I don't know how it's pronounced either. So
Yeah, so it's Ford's maroon red from the late 90s, early 2000s on literally everything that was maroon red.
with metallic in it.
With metallic in it, yep. Metallic and pearl from what I understand.
Oh, make sure make sure you mix that well.
Yeah.
Could have bought you a nice lacquer, a hell of a lot cheaper.
I want to. Can you even buy lacquer anymore?
Yes, you can.
Yes, sir. You sure can.
Well, it
I don't
depends on
wanna
the state
find
you're
one.
in. Some states you cannot.
I would bet and say mine's at the top of the list of hell no.
It's kind of like California. I don't think you can in California anymore either.
That would explain why I don't even know.
Are you in California?
No, he's
Oh,
in New York.
Same difference.
He's in New York. He's up.
Yeah.
He's in upstate New York. You know.
Yeah,
Excuse
I
me.
bought. Let me see. 1 gallon of the red was $9.47. The 2 quarts were $2.09. Slow reducer was another $50. Regular reducer was $33. And then I did have $200 worth of high build, which was a gallon of high build primer. And then I still got to buy clear.
What was that last gallon you said was what?
High build.
High build.
It's
Oh, okay.
just high build primer
Gotcha.
in the hardener.
The good primer.
Yeah. The cheap good primer because no one pays for the expensive stuff. I went there and I said, okay, so I'm. What's
No
that?
one that's not doing it for lots of money.
Well, I asked them, I said, all right, so I want PPG Deltrons, their top of the line, flagship, solvent based, what they would have used probably on this truck from the factory. I was like, when I started this project, it was $900 for a gallon, which is how much Omni Plus is which I bought now. It was $2,190 for a gallon of it.
Holy shit.
I like this truck. I don't know if I like it that much. I would just buy one already done.
It's the same price as an ounce of gold.
Yeah.
$2,100.
And then that gray light opal metallic for 2 quarts of it was $600. So,
Man, I tell you, man, I tell you, go to Home Depot and get some Rust-Oleum, you'll be just as fine. Clear that shit. You'll be good. Save yourself a whole lot of money.
I know, but
And easy to touch up when it's fucked up.
I want to keep the truck the way it was. Like, I don't even think this truck's getting wheels and tires. I think, well, if it does, it's getting the factory ones put back on it. I think.
Well, without wheels and tires, it don't go nowhere.
No, it definitely needs tires.
You see what Proline said? He said he uses Chromax.
Chromomax. It's from Deltron or DuPont.
He says he loves it.
I've sprayed with it. It works. It's pretty nice. But it was just as pricey. I don't think it was quite as bad, but it was still soury expensive.
Well, I'll be damned. Look who that is. What's up, Sublime? Holy shit.
Hey, barbecue Mike, you're right. Liquor over beer. You're. And
Well,
tonight we're
just so you
enjoying
know,
a nice Jack Daniels, number
I
7.
prefer her. I prefer her to lick me.
Yeah, well,
Fat Boy Fox, what's up, man?
he's been in here for a while. I think I said hi to Joe when he came in. I'm not sure. I'm losing my mind. So
Rattle Trap, what's up, my buddy?
Rattle Trap, long time no see. Oh yeah, I'm the one that's been gone. Never mind. Yeah, back at it. I took a couple weeks off, and I'm not saying that I'm going to be steadily doing it every Wednesday night because shit's coming up. We're getting busy with doctor's appointments and hospitals and all that. And depends on how I'm feeling. Hopefully soon I'll be working on live streaming. Like next month, I'm hoping I can live stream while working on my car again because I enjoyed doing that.
I've been checking
Gives
in
me
every
some-
Wednesday.
Last 2 Wednesdays I posted, may have been late, but I posted that I wasn't going to be on. You have to get my community post though if you.
I never check the community tab. That's why I didn't notice.
Well,
I almost text you because you said you wouldn't be on. You said you'd live stream on Saturday. The last time you had one on a Wednesday, you said you'd be on Saturday as long as everything was fine with your wife. You weren't on then. You weren't on the next Wednesday, and I went, "Did something happen?" I'm afraid to ask.
Well, yeah, things happened. It just wasn't great, but it wasn't like horrible.
Ah, man. Proline.
Oh,
Like-
Proline, you are correct. So correct. That expensive paint is so much easier to work with.
That's what
I'm telling you,
everybody
just go to
I
Home
hate
Depot,
paint.
get some Rust-Oleum, spray the piss out of it, wet sand it down, clear it, and you're good.
And yes, paint has gone crazy in the last like 2 years. The price of paint has skyrocketed. It's worse than a lot of things. The price of paint has gone fucking nuts, just like food and everything else. But paint
So-
seems to have gone way. I don't understand because it's not that hard to fucking mix.
Nope. So
I don't get
automotive
why it's
paint.
so expensive.
When I went and priced it 2 years ago, when COVID just came around, they used to do an increase. They said PPG, all the major brands would do an increase on all their brands once a year. They
Mhm.
went to once every 6 months, and they were moving it up the same amount as if it was every year, every 6 months. So it was basically doubling in price of how much it was going up every year, and they never changed that. So it was
Well-
$1,850 for the gallon 2 years ago. It is now $2,150 for that same gallon.
Damn, Rattle Trap.
Rockwell, you know who Rockwell is? Rockwell Automation. They do Allen Bradley. They have decided last year that every quarter they're going to raise their prices. And their first 2 price raises were like 16%. So, I mean, some of the stuff we buy is already expensive. It's already a couple $1,000. But it's crazy is so like a 19-inch computer screen, a touch screen computer that they have, it's an industrial computer you mount in a cabinet, 19-inch. It's seriously hardware wise in the back end isn't like super fast or anything crazy, but that is $9,000.
For absolutely no reason.
But I will say they do last. They're industrial. They are industrial. They work really well. But no, that screen breaks just as easy as any other screen because that screen's not made by Allen Bradley. It's made by somebody else.
Yep.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's $9,000, and I'm like, why? Mind you, their electronics they have in the back end of it will last longer than a lot of others. Like their PLCs are top notch. If you want higher prices, you can go to Siemens. They cost more, and they're more of a pain in the ass to work with. Yeah, it's crazy. Currently went up $200 a gallon from 21 to 23. Yeah, I remember when I bought automotive paint, and it was cheap. And this is back like in the 80s. This is late 80s when I was buying automotive paint to paint my cars. And my God, the stuff was as cheap as it is to buy rattle cans now, you know? And back then, though, because of what I made, I thought it was expensive for me. But for like my parents, it was cheap. It was nothing. They'd pay for it, no problem. But I made minimum wage, so or close to it. And back then, minimum wage was in the $3 range.
Rattle cans to the rescue, man.
There's something I didn't spare no expense on with this truck was I did buy good clear. I didn't buy cheap clear.
Oh, that's good.
That was everybody says, well, you need to buy everything underneath. All that matters. I was like, well, as long as you prep the data sheets and don't rush it, it'll probably be fine. But nothing will harm a vehicle like sun and weather and Mother Nature.
Yeah, no shit.
So I did go to the top of the line for the clear, but the clear wasn't horrible. It was expensive enough, but it wasn't like $2,100. It was
I know the last time
$500
I had
per gallon or $4.
What was it? I had when I had my wing painted for my Mustang, I got lucky and got it done for under $400 because the company that did it had no idea what they were getting into. They had to redo it 3 times because of runs and drips and everything. And they did, and they didn't charge me anymore because they quoted me $400 and they kept to that. When I had my wife's done, we found another place to do it because the price at the other place had gone to over $800 for a wing, just for a wing. That was it.
Wow.
But it's a wing with, it's got a lip on it. It's hard to paint. I get it's hard to paint because of all the contours on it. So we found somebody else who did it, and I don't know if it still looks just as good as it did. And it's been years. And I think I paid $200 for hers, which was great because it was somebody we knew who did it. And I think he gave us a deal because for one, they had the paint already, the color. They had leftover paint. It was just the ingot silver, which is what her car is. Mine was performance blue or deep impact blue, which is a more expensive paint because it's a metallic blue. I need to have the wing painted for my Focus. I think that's going to get done rattle can style. Because I've got an RS wing, but it's had the RS it's been painted before, but it's got it's ugly paint. But they had the RS logo taken out. They had it filled, and so you can't see the RS on it anymore, which is perfect because I don't need it to say RS on it. But I think I'm just going to paint it black, just a matte black, which just goes against everything. I mean, I really want it to match the car.
Well, here's something the actual color of the car, but why don't you? So something you can do is if you find a local paint supplier, and I've done it. I did it with my F-150, and it may not exact perfect, but they can mix you up the color code in a rattle can, and you can do that even though it doesn't exactly match. It's really close.
I can get that done at O'Reilly's, so I may have that done. O'Reilly's can do it, and it's just I think it's an L1. I know I have the paint code. It's called Sonic Blue in a lot of places, but here in the U.S. we call it Performance Blue. But it's called, most of the time when I see it, they call it Sonic Blue because that's what it was in the UK, and that's where they made more of those cars than they did here.
Yeah. And then you can get, 2K Max makes a rattle can 2-part. It works. The only thing I don't like about it is an extremely soft clear. You look at it, it gets a giant scratch in it. Like buffing it was almost impossible for me to do.
I can get a clear to go with it.
There you go.
O'Reilly's has a good clear. You buy it at the same time. They have that. I don't remember what brand it is. It's supposedly pretty good. But I have a spray gun. Yeah. I have a gun and air. I can spray my own stuff. I just have to go buy the paint.
Rattle can's nice. That is
rattle
nice.
can's nice, especially when you're doing a thing like a wing that's got like contours, and it's such a pain in the ass to do with a fucking spray. But if I get the right kind of rattle can, it's going to have a good spray pattern on it. Like some of the Rust-Oleums now have really nice spray patterns on it. That's why I was thinking, maybe I'll do it with Rust-Oleum, and maybe I'll do it in red, just a bright race red.
And it'll always be easy to touch up too. You won't never have to worry about it.
Because I had the red wheels on my car, but they got damaged last year, so I can't run those anymore because they look like shit until I get them fixed. But getting powder coat fixed is expensive because they basically have to strip the whole wheel and redo it.
Yeah, you can get I don't know if O'Reilly sells it, but I know AutoZone sells Duplicolor. And
I don't always want fucking Duplicolor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duplicolor, I'm fine with their pens, the little pens they make. I'm fine with those. Those work fine. But their spray paint sucks. It's half the time it spatters when it comes out. It doesn't come out even. Their cans don't work well.
Especially,
in my opinion.
Your car has metallic in it, right?
Yes, it does.
So if you try to use that, it'll spit spatter, and then you'll have like heavy spots of metallic. I've seen my buddy use it on his trucks.
You never find my color in anything but the paint pens.
You can order it. You could probably order it online. That's the only place.
I can order it, but it's not worth the time.
Yeah.
You got to order from Duplicate.
You got to worry about the splatters and all that kind of stuff, and spatters and shit. You got to worry about it. That just adds character.
No, that adds spots that drive me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I haven't painted in quite some time. I actually wouldn't mind getting to it with my actual. I think it's a gravity feed that I've got out there right now, which is what I'd prefer to use.
Yeah,
is the gravity feed. But I think. Why am I getting an echo now from Mike?
I'll fix it.
That was weird. It was fine, then it started.
Yeah, I was moving the phone.
You're out in the shop right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm putting in outlets.
I hear the echo.
So Salty, there's good, and then there's good enough. I think you guys are. That's the difference you guys are talking about.
I'm one of those guys. Good enough.
I am for some things.
I'm just good enough.
The problem is if I paint that damn wing and I make it look too good, I'll have to repaint the whole fucking car because the car's paint looks like shit because it was owned by other people way before me, and it's been in a wreck and it's been repainted, and they didn't do it great. It's got swirls and scratches and it looks like crap. I could possibly restore it. There's a possibility if I had the energy, I could actually get it. I could paint correct the whole thing. But
that is a lot of work. Yes, that is a lot of work.
Hell, your first idea was the best one. Just paint it matte black. The spoiler, paint it matte black, and go about your
thinking about that, but nothing else on the car is black. Nothing. I mean,
the grill.
I guess
is the grill black,
but it's a gloss black.
So you'd have to paint
I'd have to paint it gloss black. I could do that.
You could do that.
Yeah, but when you're looking out your rearview mirror, when the sun's hitting on it, would that throw a big glare at you? You
won't even see it on the
sun's on top of the car.
Won't even see it.
Okay, that's why I was curious. I didn't know.
It is not in my mirrors.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up and behind. It's not, and my mirrors are aimed more down towards the road. And when you're running on a track, you're only looking to see if somebody needs to pass you, and you can see them in your rear view.
Mirrors, those are overrated. You take those off and you Bondo over the holes.
I can't do that. I like my mirrors. They have lights on them.
That's fancy dancy shit.
Yeah.
They have the turn signals on it. That's going to be my daily driver again when I get it working again. It's just going to be a much faster daily driver. But once I get it all graded and everything, as long as I just drive at the speed limit, it'll still get good gas mileage. It's just
like my truck.
I put into it, which is what I like to do. It It does not get good gas mileage.
Just like my truck. I'm gonna have the fender. I'm gonna have the left front fender, the door, and tailgate painted, and that's all I'm painting on the whole truck. Because the guy's gonna color match it, blend it in, and I ain't doing anything else to the truck.
Machine? I'm curious for Proline what the turbine machine is. That's more than an air compressor. I don't know.
A turbine. So it's basically a self-contained spray unit. So Harbor Freight sells them now.
Spray units.
Yeah, but it's actually made for automotive spraying. Yeah, they're like $400 or $500. You can pick them up for. Eastwood sells them. Harbor Freight, I think, has them. There's plenty of companies, but it's literally like this thing with a hose and it's spray gun, but it's a self-contained plug into the wall unit for people that don't have air compressors.
Huh.
I looked into them years ago, and they were
I've seen
kind of becoming more consumer
stuff. It looks pretty good. So,
I mean, you can get. There's plenty of people that spray with them, and they do good. They're just totally different. You have to adjust how much air you're getting on the machine.
Yeah,
because there's I don't think there's much adjustment on the gun.
I do know that Harbor Freight has their newer spray gun that with the rear adjustment for the fan. It's got a really looks
Black
really
Widow
nice.
2.0.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice, and it's black and red, which makes it look cool.
He said he got the biggest one that Fuji makes.
Oh, it's a Fuji.
I didn't know if Fuji makes one.
Fuji makes really good electronics. I like some of their stuff. I used to use all their contactors and motor starters, and they work really well.
Fuck, it's done got cold outside. Fuck this shit.
I'll trade you, Salty. I'll trade you, Salty.
I'm good. I'll deal with this.
It's only
cold,
22.
It's you got to remember it was 75 almost here today, and now
it was 60. It was 60. It was 68 here this morning.
So I gotta say, so in about what is today? Today is the 28th. I have to do my taxes by tomorrow, or I lose out.
Why by tomorrow?
Before the end of the month.
Well, tomorrow.
I have never. Well, that's right. Tomorrow's the last day of the month, 29th. Yes. I have never gone into March before doing taxes. So, and this year's my easiest year. All I have is one W-2. That's it. Well, I have my wife's, but she only made $293, so I don't even have to claim it.
Don't be surprised when you don't get much back of a tax
return. I'm not getting anything back. I'm probably going to owe again. Good turbine gets expensive. Get 2K in your machine and gun. Oh, okay, well that's way more than I plan on doing.
Yeah, but if you're using,
I have an air compressor, and that's what I'd use. 82 today and for it. So my wife is planning on driving to Minnesota for her next appointment.
Damn.
Which is she needs to be there by the 17th. So she's going to leave on she needs to be there by the night of the 17th because she's got an appointment on the 18th. She's going to leave on the 16th. It's a 13-hour drive with as by Google, it's 13 hours. That means that no stops. So she's going to have to stay somewhere overnight. And I'm thinking,
where's she going?
This time of year, is that going to be a good idea?
Where's she going?
Minnesota, lower Minnesota.
Oh, damn! They might be damn snowed in up there in Minnesota.
Rochester, Minnesota. I don't know. She's going to be taking the Edge, so.
Damn, Victor, just brag.
And the Edge does really, the Edge does really well in snow because when we had the snow here and everybody was like locked down and nobody was going anywhere and legally I wasn't supposed to be driving on the roads and I didn't know that. That Edge did fine.
You've already had snow up there, Pinks?
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah, they shut down this town for 2 days. Like legally, I wasn't supposed to be on the road, and I was the only one at work, and I didn't know why. Because I didn't know that you weren't supposed to drive. Because I didn't know that legally the state had shut down the area. This was like a month ago or January. December,
probably the same time we got snow when the whole nation was frozen.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't remember when it was, but
thank God we didn't get
it. Humidity and air dryer issues. Okay. Yeah, I don't have an air dryer on mine, and if I was going to spray with it, I would need to put one on it, or at least put some kind of better. I mean, I have the cans to help stop it, but I do blow the air out of or the water out of it every now and then, but it doesn't seem that bad in mine because mine's in an air-conditioned, humidity-controlled garage. So that kind of helps a little bit, but still they create their own humidity and water because of the pressure, the way it works.
For as much as like if you're spraying like your wing, I mean the air
Yeah,
compressor's probably gonna run twice, maybe if you're lucky.
Oh, I doubt my compressor would come on at all. It's 80 gallons.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, so Harbor Freight has a new 2-stage pump they just came out with that was on sale, and I should have bought it when it was on sale. It looks really nice, and I can replace my single-stage pump with it. But I have the old Italian-made single-stage pump from Harbor Freight. I don't know if you remember that when they used to actually sell a really. Yeah, so the old Harbor Freight 80-gallon had a tank made in America, and the pump was made in Italy, and it was an American motor. The motor on mine has been swapped. It's a second. It's been replaced once. It's a 5 horsepower single piston, and it runs fine. And it's not even, it's loud, but it's not super loud.
Yeah.
And it works great. And it's got oil in it. It's not an oilless. It has to use, it lubricates itself. I don't personally like oilless air compressors. I really don't.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
They're loud.
You're talking about talking about like a scroll wheel, a scroll compressor. That would be.
Well, no, they have piston compressors that are actually oilless.
How?
Suppose they just burn out. They just burn out way faster. They make them. They're cheap. Now the scroll ones, yes, you do have the scroll ones that are oilless. They have grease in them, but I don't have a problem with oil getting into my air. I really don't.
That's only if they wear out.
Yeah, really. If they wear. This is a really good compressor, and I was sad when they quit because they replaced it with a Chinese compressor when they changed it. They replaced it with a Chinese compressor, and if you were to look at my compressor up, it gets nothing but bad reviews for the compressor. But that's the new one, not the old one. The old one was good. It was really good. And it wasn't expensive. I mean, comparatively, it was fairly cheap for an 80 gallon compressor, which I think it maxes out at I think mine's set at 155, but it can go up to 160. It's rated for 165 PSI, but I keep it at 155 because it's an older tank and I don't know how much rust damage there is to it.
Yeah. I got a Quincy. I bought my Quincy in 2020, May. I bought it specifically for this.
That's about the same time I bought mine, but mine was used.
Yeah.
And I got mine for a really good deal. I think I paid $100 for it.
I had already been living on my dad's air compressor that he bought when he first put concrete in the garage when I was like, I don't know, 7, 8 years old. It was an old farm. It was a farmhand from Tractor Supply. You go out there, they only sell Ingersoll Rand now.
Oh no, they sell DeWalt too.
Oh, okay, they sell DeWalt, but farmhand. If you look up any of the numbers on this, they still get, that's their brand, but they don't sell the compressor no more. But if you look it up, it's a Campbell Hosfed with a different size pulley on it, so it didn't produce as much air as their version.
Well, I will say the new Campbell Hosfeds aren't that good.
No,
the residential style ones, I don't know about the commercial stuff, but their resi stuff is not good. It's all made in China now. It's all crap.
Now, like my dad,
Walmart.
Yeah, they bought. So we got that, and we had that thing. My dad doesn't check oil. He doesn't change oil. He doesn't nothing. He just runs it until it dies. Well, one day, because the lines leaked, you'd have to turn the air off. Well, if you didn't, the air compressor would turn on and off and off and on. And the barn's down over the hill. So we get down there and use it one day. If you forgot to shut the air off, the air compressor would turn on every 15 minutes until either A, the belt broke, B, the motor locked up, or the airline would bust and it would just continue to run, or the tank explodes. And we did that actually relatively often. Well, finally, we went down. We're sitting up the house one day and we're like, man, why do we hear a really high whining noise. We get out of the barn. It
Motor
broke
locked
the
up.
belt. The motor locked up and
Yep.
it broke the belt and it just started running. I pulled the dipstick, and mind you, this is like probably 8 or 9 years after he bought it. It was the first time we ever pulled the dipstick. I went, well, that could be a problem. There's no oil in this.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
I was
I
like, great.
Mine. It's got the sight glass, so if the oil gets down low enough, I know to put new oil, and you can see how dirty the oil is.
Yeah.
If it gets dirty, I drain it.
What's my dad say? I didn't even know that had a dipstick. Why am I not shocked? So we get air compressor oil, we break the motor free, we put a new belt on it, and we fire it up, and it goes raw, 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 and it does that. Slowly gets faster over a 45-minute span. We locked that motor up 3 times after that and did the same thing. And then I drug it to New York and used it, and then I gave it to my buddy, and it still runs today.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong; it's got oil consumption problems.
And
so you do got to watch it.
Probably not the best compressor in the world, but
it still makes air.
What's the size? What's the tank size on it?
60 gallon.
Okay.
There's a 60 gallon single stage.
I was looking for a 60 or an 80 when I bought mine, and I got lucky to get an 80 for the price I did. Like I said, I paid between $100 and $200 for it, and it works great. It runs on 220. So I like it running on 220 better than 110 because then I don't have to run quite as high an amperage. Because I think the motor I have will run either, but I like screw it. I've got 10 gauge going to 220, and when I moved here I had to, because I just I put the outlet in, a nice outlet run at the old house, and then like within 6 months I moved and I had to do it again. But here I just used like I had that wire that was going to the hot tub I cut off. I just used that. In fact, I used the hot tub circuit and just ran it overhead because I couldn't find at the time my 10 gauge armored cable that I had, which is what I used at the other house. But I knew I had a lot left over. And after I got it run, like a month later, I found it. When I was unpacking stuff, I found the cable. So now I know where it is. So if I ever need more, I have it. So,
yeah, whenever I got lucky, whenever I moved in here, because it was all bare walls. So I had 2 110 outlets underneath of the lean-to out back. And I'm like, I don't want to hear an air compressor run. So I stuck it out there and I pulled one of the 110s and I put a 220 in, ran a 10-2 in because it was all exposed.
Yeah.
I put its own breaker in, and now the air compressor's outside. I don't even have to hear it run. The only reason why I know it turns on is because the lights flicker.
Now, if I ever do put the lean-to or the storage behind my garage, like Salty said I should, that is where the air compressor will go. Because right now it's plumbed. I've got it plumbed in the garage. I got one of those plumbing kits. I'll plumb it out there, and I'll get rid of the one cable or the one hose on it that does leak because it's got a hose going from the stuff I plumbed that you buy that kit that's got the airline and everything in it. But right now it's just got a regular old rubber hose connecting it, and it's got leaks in it because it's old. Yeah, it's got one of the swivel hookups on it.
Yep.
But I don't need that. If I ever do anything out back, it will definitely go out back so I don't hear it as much. But I don't use it enough for it to even come on that often. Usually when it comes on, it's because I'm filling up a bunch of air and tires.
And that was the other thing is I bought that air compressor specifically to be able to run a DA sander and be able to paint with it and not have problems. I already knew the other one was going to pump too much oil into the system for me to try to paint with. So I bought it. I said, this thing will last me forever because it's a Quincy 4-piston. They got full rebuild kits for it that I can buy. Really? Yep. It's a 4-piston.
It is the Quincy. You bought the better of what they sell.
Yeah. I bought, I guess, what you could call their homeowner version because they do sell them in like some of the bigger farm stores like Runnings here. They sell them at Rural King back home. And my buddy bought the same one.
Well, mine's an industrial compressor, but so I'm not using it hardly at all. In fact, most of the time I turn it off so it won't autofill because it does leak a little bit out of the the valve on the top of it, I need to get a better ball valve because it's a cheap one and it leaks. So even if I have it closed, it leaks. And it leaks through that, which then leaks out that rubber hose that's connected with the holes in it. And it'll cut on like in the middle of the night. And I'll hear it in here because it's barely, but I'll hear it. If nothing else is going on, if I have no noise, I'll hear it. But so I just leave it turned off. And then if I need it and it's down, it takes it like 3 to 5 minutes to fill up.
Yeah, I normally leave mine pressurized. If I leave the ball valve open by accident, it might turn on once a day.
Mine leaks if the ball valve is closed, which is what sucks.
Yeah, mine. You know what? I bought the air compressor, and that was something I went, you've got to be kidding me. You pay this much money for an air compressor? And they have a 1/2-inch outlet, and that's the only one outlet it has. It has a cheap galvanized 45 of the ball valve. I went, my cheap farmhand had a 3/4 inch I could plug into. Actually, I think it was 1 inch out the side of the tank.
Yeah.
So why would this only be 1/2 inch?
I don't remember what size mine is. Mine's smaller. It's like either 3/8 or 1/2.
Yeah.
It's not huge.
Yeah, mine's really small, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I want a hole. I want a hole, not a hole.
I don't need it that big because for what I'm going to use, anything I'm going to use, that's going to get enough CFM through it.
Well,
going to be plenty of airflow.
Well, I wanted to believe that, but it was one of those things. I was building it once, so I never wanted to have to build it again, which means moving, I'll have to build it again. But something I will say is so you bought the blue line, the plumb in yours?
How do you like that? The metal connectors and everything? Oh, it's great. I love it. Works fine.
I debated on that so much. And I decided to go
it on sale at Royal King. Royal King had it on sale. And I saw the kit with the 3/4 inch line, I think it is. It's the big line.
Yep.
And it was on sale for because it was normally over $100. It was on sale for less than $50.
Wow.
And so I snagged that in a heartbeat just in case it was an accident. And they only had 2 of them left. And I should have bought both of them.
You haven't looked up how much those kits are now, have you? Because I'm assuming this is a couple years ago.
This was like 2 years ago almost.
I looked up that same kit for my buddy a month and a half ago because he was going to run black iron pipe. And I went, no, don't do it. I already did it. I have it. I did it because I thought I could get away cheaper. Come to figure it out, it cost me the same.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'll deal with it until I move to the next house. I know better. But I looked up the kit for him. And it's like over $200 for that same 3/4 inch line.
Yeah.
It comes with some elbows and like 2 or 3 ball valves.
It's got elbows. It's got connectors. It's got a couple of blocks that you can place.
Yep.
Like I have the first block is where I bring the line in, and then it goes from there to I bring the line straight in. I got the line coming straight into a water separator. And from there it goes to the first block, which allows me a connection there, which I just have a quick connect there. Then I've got it run up and over and then to another block that has I have a connector on it with a ball valve, which I just leave closed with nothing else on it because I don't know if I'll ever need anything there. But if I do, it's over my workbench. And then it runs again to the front where it has another manifold with a quick connect on it and a ball valve, so I can dump it from there. I can do an air dump because it's one of the lowest spots.
Yep.
So I have a dump valve there where I can clean the line out, and then a quick connect, which is where I connect my retractable hose or any of my hoses.
Yep.
Because I have a couple of red, the Goodyear rubber hoses, which are really nice, and I got those at I bought those at Westco back in Tacoma because I had a Westco, auto paint. I don't know if you know who Westco Auto Body is. Westco Auto Body is a large company that sells paint and paint supplies and everything.
They're probably like National Coatings and Supply that they have exactly. All over.
But they had I went in there one day getting some paint, and they had the Goodyears, like the 50-foot Goodyear rubbers on sale, the 1/2 inch for like nothing, like $9 for like 25 footers. I was like, yep, sold. Buying that. And so I bought a couple of those, and they're nice because they don't kink, they don't tangle. they're good, the Goodyear rubber hoses, and they've been working great. So I can plug those in, or I can plug my 50-foot retractable in, which is the Harbor Freight one.
Yep.
It gets stuck sometimes. It has a leak in it every now and then if I have the air turned up too much, because I have a regulator. So I've got the air filter and then a regulator, and I usually leave the regulator. I keep it down like at 100 psi.
That's what I do with mine.
Yeah, anything. So the tank's at like 155, and I keep the regulator at about 100, because anything more than that, the connection inside that retractable leaks a little bit. If you go over, I think 120, it'll start leaking. But
mine will go.
When do you ever need more than 100 psi? What needs more than 100 psi?
You know what? You kind of wonder that, but at the same time, when all I ever had was that farmhand. It was just a single stage, so it only went to 130 psi.
Right.
Everything needed as much psi because you never had enough volume to run anything.
I have plenty of volume. That's the issue. I don't have an issue with volume.
I figured that out now. Like, I've got mine turned down to 90 psi, and running a DA, it'll rip the DA apart from Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wow.
DA that I have an electric DA, so.
I know you're
it's a
only
Harbor
supposed
Freight.
to run. I know you're only supposed to run like around 100, 105 psi. I usually run like 115.
Yeah.
And the reason being is if you're using like a pickle fork or something, or you're trying something that you're just banging away on it, a little bit extra pressure. I don't know if it actually makes a difference, but
it does.
So it does.
If I'm using my actual, like I generally use my Milwaukee's for doing my impacts, but I do have an air impact that is way stronger. It's the 3/4, or it might be a 1/2 inch. It's either 1/2 inch or 3/4, but it's a super strong air impact. It's stronger than any of my Milwaukee's. But if I'm running that, I crank it up to like 120, because that gives it full power. Because it can run, it's rated at 115 psi for full power on it, and so I'll run that up to. I want to run a little bit above. I keep that regulator above what I'm actually wanting. So if I want 90 psi, I set it for 100. If I want 110, I set it for 120. I always usually go about 10 over because of the way the regulator works. If you don't, you'll run out of air.
Yep.
So, but I can go up to 155 psi. That's what the tank has, maximum. But generally, I think it's hysteresis. It won't kick in until it gets down to about 130, but it never goes below 130 as long as I've got it turned on. And I've never, even using my air blower to clean stuff off, just using an air gun, I've never been able to get it below 120.
So this is a very interesting thing. You say that, and I always said, you know what? If you could run an air chuck a blower off of an air compressor and sit there and hold it, and the air compressor can catch up, you're good. For whatever reason, DAs, palm, there's a few other tools, air grinders, they use more air than that blower. I don't know why. I did that. I did that test
on the
with
grinders you use. Like I know my 90 degree grinder, that one uses a shit ton of air.
Yep.
That one can actually almost run me down to 120 psi. Before my air compressor can actually pump. Once it gets down to 130, it starts pumping again. Back to 155. I have never been able to get it. I've made it so that it kept the air compressor on, kept it running, but I've never gone below 120.
By DA. Good, Mike.
What's that?
For porting, I have porting heads.
Yeah.
Because you're just constant.
Well, I've been constant with my 90 degree before too, and like for a long time, and it just once that air compressor kicks in, it just stays on. It didn't shut off until after I was done. But watching my gauge, I never went below 120.
Be running by DA. Yeah, I ran it. After I adjusted the regulator, I realized that it cranked all the way up. I went, I don't need all this pressure. I turned it down. And DA in the side of this bed before I primed it, my air compressor would actually build back up while I was still running.
Yeah.
But it would run. It'd run 10 minutes before it got built back up the pressure and shut off.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying is as long as I'm not trying to run full 155 PSI, because that'll hurt you. If you're putting too much, you don't want to put too much air, too much pressure into something. In fact, that a lot of things will tell you the maximum it can handle. Don't you? You want to run it at what it wants, which most things is 90 PSI. If you've got the CFM, and mine has the CFM, I think it's at 90 PSI. It's over 14 CFM.
I think mine's 15.3. I think what mine is.
It's over 14. I don't remember exactly what it is. And I know it, what's the lower rating they usually have is like 70 or 40.
45. I've seen them at both.
Yeah. It's got a huge CFM number.
What I would love to know is what's the real CFM number? Like when the air compressor turns on at 135, what's the CFM?
Exactly. What is it coming out then? But I've never noticed my tool slowing down.
No.
Well, like with my old compressor, I did because I had that cheap 29-gallon fucking Harbor Freight one. That one, I wouldn't keep up with me at all.
No. That was like our farm hand.
I'd use that thing and I'd run out of air just trying to blow a computer out, trying to clean the computer's dust out. It died quickly and it could not keep up at all. So when I graduated to this one, I gave that one away. And I had improved that one because I had two of the 29-gallon tanks. And so I hooked them together. So it actually had, what is it? 58?
58, yeah.
Yeah, 58 gallons of air. But
take forever to fill up.
That pushed that compressor so hard. That thing, you could smell it, It would get hot. And it always had to, I always made sure it had oil in it.
You know what? I got that enclosed area back here where my Mustang's at. That's where my air compressor is.
Yeah.
It was down in the 20s. When I was running that DA, I'd run probably about an hour at a time with, I wouldn't say all nonstop, but I'd run it 15, 20 minutes at a time. Just swap. That was the only time I stopped. I walked out there at the end of the night. I drained the tank twice. I put the temp gauge out there because I got just one that sits on the workbench. I set it out there. It was 50 degrees out there in just enclosed plastic. That's how warm it was. Like to touch the tank, it was almost uncomfortable to touch. But I was like, what's the duty cycle on this? I looked it up, 100% duty cycle on it. I went, I find that hard to believe, but all right.
Mine has 100% duty cycle on it. That's the old school way. That's the way they were built. They were built to run constantly if they had to.
Yep.
Because it was an actual low-end industrial compressor.
Yep.
It's what you use in a shop.
Yeah. And I like it, but they've got that. The only problem I have with the new compressor they have coming out, it's a 2-piston dual stage, is it's made in China. But it looks like it's built really well, and it's got a lot of decent reviews on it from people who have put it in and saying the only thing they had to do was change their pulley on their motor to a different size.
So whose design did they copy?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's a nice, it looks nice. And I've got, I've been reading reviews about it. And this one guy's like, well, I had to redo the cage around because he actually rebuilt the cage that went around the belt and everything.
Yeah. You throw that away.
I do not. Mine's fine. It's got the cage on it, but this guy was the same. He rebuilt his. He built his own cage to go around it because it didn't fit anymore because of the new one. And he built his own. He's a fabricator, and he's like me, a little OCD. And he said it worked great. The thing was just humming along perfectly. And he did one of those reviews after 6 months. He was one of the guys that he waited to do a review because some people do a review like a week after they get a product, and then like 2 weeks later it's dead. Yep. And this guy's like, he used the shit out of it for 6 months and then did a review on it. And it was one of those, multi-paragraph reviews. And from what he said, the damn thing just works great. It's faster than his original one, which was a really quick like it'll go up pressure no problem, and it's maxes out at 175, so you have to regulate it down. Like for me, I just got my switch. Like I could have mine go up to 175, no problem, but I have it turned to 155, which is 10 below what the rating of the tank is. You know, the safety rating of the tank. And if it's 165, then the tank's probably good for like 300.
Yeah, you definitely don't want the tank to burst. That's for sure.
No,
My buddy
no,
found
no.
that out the hard
And
way.
that's the reason I turned mine down 10 below what it's rated at, because it's a 165 psi is what it says on the sticker and everything. I turned it to 155 because it's an older tank. It's got rust in it. I know because I cleaned some of it out when I first got it. I took the bottom, the big, like what 1.5, 2-inch plug out of it, and I cleaned it, and I got a bunch of rust out of it. Got it really nice, got it nice and clean, and cleaned up all the threads on it, put it back in, and then put a drain hose in it with a valve. And I think that may leak a little bit too. That may be where some of my air is going.
I heard when they blow up, it's kind of like a bomb.
Yeah.
Or it takes off like a torpedo heater.
It's fairly thick. It's a really heavy tank. I do know it's heavy, but it's nothing like the tanks we used to get these balls that look like for air compressor, for pressure holding tanks. We get these big balls that look like old mines without the spikes on them. Look like the old underwater mines. The big, just huge ball of steel with a weld that was like this thick and this wide in the middle to hold it together, because the damn thing's like that thick. It's a 5,000 psi tank, but it's a huge sphere which holds a shit ton of air.
Yeah. Wait, my buddy, he had an old air compressor. It was something like that farmhand I had, but it was, an older version way back in the day. A decent homeowner that went out and spent some money or worked on, they had a semi garage at one point. They had a smaller air compressor and a bigger one, and it was a 2-stage. It was so old. He said he was sitting there using it, and he noticed it was getting really crusty, and it sprung a little leak in the bottom. I went, dude, he was going to weld it up. I went, don't do that.
Nope.
It's time. It's time.
He
tacked it up. It made it a month, and he was working on something, and that thing let loose. It went through the door track in the ceiling, and he had his garage. This is the same garage that was a semi garage at one point, so it held triaxles. It went straight through the door. The door was up. It smashed the door, crushed the door, bent the rail, and then flew into the ground, and that was it.
Yeah,
I said you got lucky.
I will replace a tank. Tanks are not that expensive by themselves. What you're generally, when you buy an air compressor, you're paying for the motor and the pump.
I couldn't even. Where can you even buy a tank?
You can go online and find them.
Like I found them on Marketplace, but everybody wanted 3/4 of the price of a new air compressor. I'm like, what is the point of this? Because I was going to build my own, and I couldn't find a cheap one around me. So
no, they're not going to be cheap, but they're not going to be. You can find them for less than an air compressor, for damn sure.
Well, you can find them for less than that. What I was finding is $500-$600 is what I was finding for a 60-gallon tank. Most people wanted.
That sucks because like I bought my 80-gallon tank with air compressor for, I think it was 100 to 150. It was really cheap. The guy was just trying to get rid of it because he didn't have room for it and he was moving.
At that time, I looked around. Everybody was asking. It wasn't new pricing, but it was close. It was like, well, for what you want for a tank, I can buy a used whole air compressor. And I don't have to build nothing. And I'm like, every time I would go back to screw it, I'll just keep using this farmhand because I'm not paying that. Well, then I finally just broke down and went, screw it. I'm just going to go buy a new one. This is what I want. I'm going to buy it. I found a local distributor that I went there with my trailer, and I said, what can you do for me? And he knocked. So the cheapest place I could find it was Rural King for $12.99. I picked that one up for $1,100. I asked him, what can you do for me? He says, about $1,100. I said, sounds good to me. Load it up. And he gave me the line, the flex line that went with it so I could hook it up stainless.
Nice.
I had the opportunity one time to buy a really, really good Ingersoll Rand screw compressor. Like a really good one.
Yeah.
That would put out like pressure that would be good for an entire warehouse of people working, like where I used to work. In fact, it was a company that near us that was getting rid of theirs because they were going out of business. I could have bought this thing for like $100. The problem was it did not come with a tank, and it's an Ingersoll Rand screw compressor with no storage. It's a compressor only, and it was big. It was quite large. It was probably the size. The couch about half the size of my couch wide, and like yay tall.
Yep.
But the damn thing was not, and for the price, it was like $100. They were willing to sell it to me that cheap, but I'm like, I need a tank. I don't have one, and they're like, well, we don't have one because they'd already sold the tank.
The only thing I had read about
huge tank, which wouldn't have fit in my garage.
Yeah. The only thing about the screw compressors, from what I had researched, is they weren't good if you didn't use them often. They were meant for like industrial applications where air's needed all the time, so they're consistently running all the time.
Yeah, we had ours set on a timer, so it would only shut off at night.
Okay.
And we had to adjust that timer because of when people came in, so it would automatically turn on at 4 a.m. It would turn on at 4 a.m. and it would shut off at 6 p.m.
Okay. Yeah, that was what I heard. If you're not using it all the time, it's not you're gonna have problems with them with time.
It ran all the time, but for the price, I should have bought the damn thing and just resold it. That's what I should have done.
Yep.
But getting it, moving it, putting it in my garage before I could sell it, and
then storing it, waiting for the right buyer.
They ended up selling it to another company. And like the storage tank they had for it was over 500 gallons.
It's like a big propane tank.
And they had already sold that one. Well, that's what my company had. We had a screw compressor too, that we replaced our old compressor with, and it was an Ingersoll Rand. It was bigger than that one, and we had like 5 to 1,000 pound vertical tank that sat inside our building. Damn thing was huge, and it had multiple connectors. Oh, it was nice. Once they put that in, we didn't have air problems anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all our Haas machines use air. They use a lot of air. I didn't realize how much air they used. But the Haas CNC machines use a shit ton of air, and we had just upgraded to 3 of them, multi-axis machines that were constantly running. And then I used a lot of air back in electrical. I used more air than you would think. Mostly to clean shit with my air.
Yep.
Just blowing shit off.
Yep.
But that's a lot of air when you're just blowing air.
Yep. A lot of wasted air.
It is. It's a lot of wasted air. But
well, hey, I think I'm gonna hop off here. I just realized
it's okay.
10:40. I gotta go see Autumn. So
I'm probably gonna hop off here too. It's been a good evening, and I think 2 hours is enough for my first time back.
Hanks, I was gonna ask you, did you see that post that Ken made on Facebook today?
Which one?
He said, we will be moving shops into this week. Please be patient if we miss any calls or emails during this process.
Moving shops?
Yeah, you got him another shop, a hell of a lot bigger shop.
Really?
Yeah, I heard something about shop. It in his video with Staying Mode that he was getting a different shop.
Yeah, now that he's made the announcement, I can tell you, because I've been known now for a while. Yeah, he got a hell of a lot bigger shop. Hell of a lot bigger.
Oh, do you know where it is? Same town?
He said it's not far from where his shop's at now.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really close.
Well, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. I'll catch you later.
All right, Nate, take care, buddy. Oh, that's good. Yeah, good to see that his business is doing good enough for him to get into another shop.
Yeah, that's good.
He said he's got a guy that's wanting to buy his. So,
well, that's good. Bigger shop with hopefully more than one lift.
Oh yeah. He said it's already got. What did he tell me? It's got 3 or 4 lifts in it.
Oh, well, that's great because but it sucks because I knew where his old shop was, and I've been there many times.
Yeah, he said this shop is like, I think he said it was less than 3 miles from where his shop is at.
We'll still be in Henderson.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll probably still be in Henderson. Yeah, I'm sure of that. But I'm just
Yeah,
happy
that's
that he
cool.
was able to get him a bigger shop because I know he's been running out of room for a long fucking time and having to store everybody's cars outside. He said now he'd be able to pretty much put all of his customers' cars
Oh, that's
inside the building.
nice. Yeah. I've been there before where there wasn't anywhere for me to park in his lot because there were so damn many cars out there.
Yeah,
I
I've never
had to
been there to
park
see it.
next
I've just
door.
seen pictures of
And
it. So
that's without even having a trailer with me. That's just me.
yeah, he said you won't have any problem now. There's plenty of trailer parking, plenty of turnaround room. He said he got plenty of all that shit now in his new shop.
Cool. Hey, you guys have a good night.
You too there, buddy.
Yeah.
You too there, Mike. I'm gonna jump out of here too. Pinks, appreciate it, buddy, as always.
Hey,
Thank you, sir.
I'm about to shut it down anyway. Thank you guys for coming in. I'm
All you
tired
fellas in the
already.
chat, man, I enjoyed it. Y'all take care. We will catch y'all on the flip side.
Later, son. So, everybody who came in here tonight, thank you for coming back. Sorry it took a 2-week break, but I needed it. And hopefully I'll be back next Wednesday. That's the plan anyway. But until then, y'all have a great week, and I will see you in the next one. Later.